Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about my best healthy travel tips. As some of you may know, I am currently on a trip in Thailand. As you're watching this, I am in Thailand. I got there 2 days ago, and today I wanted to share some of my best tips for surviving the airport and airplanes. Especially going somewhere like Thailand from New York. It was a 13-hour flight, and I wanted to make sure that I had all of the things I needed to stay healthy, and today I wanted to share them with you. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the first tip that I have is that you need to stay hydrated. It's really important that you stay hydrated while you're flying particularly. And how I do that is that I make sure I bring my own water bottle. So I have a water bottle that I carry with me always. Of course, I make sure it's empty before I go through the TSA security lines, but I refill it when I get through security, and then I try to drink that before I take off. I always make sure to also ask for water when they come through with the in-flight service. You don't want to drink any soda, alcohol, anything like that that's going to dehydrate your system even more. So stick with water and teas. And tea is another thing that I have. I always carry tea with me. I have a little Ziploc bag of some of my favorite teas, and oftentimes they'll give you hot water for free at some of the coffee shops in the gate, and also they will give you hot water when you're on the plane. So refillable water bottle, tea, and of course you could also buy bottled water after you get through security if you want. Tip number 2 is to have healthy snacks on hand. Depending on where you live in the world, oftentimes there are not healthy snack options when you get through security. So I always make sure that I have healthy snacks on hand in my travel bag. I actually have 3 of my favorites to share with you. The first is granola bars. So I mentioned in my October favorites video, my 2 favorite granola bars. They are square bars and these little chia bars. And I always have at least 2 of these chia bars and 1 square bar in all of my carry-on suitcases. I also like to have energy balls. So I either bring my own energy balls or I pick up energy balls like these. These are some of my favorites. These are gluten-free bites. This is the Coconut Cashew Crunch. They're really good. I actually end up finding them a lot of times at Marshall's and TJ Maxx and Home Goods. So you can either buy them online or you can try to find them in the grocery store. But of course, you can also make your own energy balls. I have a video on my channel that I will link in the description box below for banana peanut butter energy balls that are so good. And the other snack that I love to have with me are crispy chickpeas. So I mentioned this brand in my August favorites video, but this is a new flavor that I just discovered. It's the habanero medium spicy crispy chickpeas, and they're so good. They are like kind of spicy, they're the perfect snack, and since they're high in protein, they will fill you up. And they aren't just a snack filled with empty calories like chips or pretzels that you would get either on the airplane or in some of those convenience stores through security. My third tip is to make sure that you get some greens in. So whether that means you order a salad when you get through security, or you are lucky enough to have a smoothie bar or juice bar. I know most airports do not have that, but luckily some of the terminals in New York do have juice bars. So sometimes I'll grab a juice. If I don't have that option, I bring my own green juice powder. So I love the ones from Amazing Grass, but there are tons of options out there that you can purchase. I like to actually bring just the little packets that you can dump into water or juice and you can stir it in, and it's basically like drinking a green juice. I also just like to have those when I travel in general. So depending on where you're going in the world or where you're going in your country, you can't always guarantee that you're gonna get all the greens that you need. So having a green juice powder on hand helps you get in some of those alkalizing greens, helps balance the pH in your body, helps you stay detoxified. And of course, since you're drinking something liquid, you're also staying hydrated. Tip number 4 is to pack your own dinner. This sounds a little bit counterintuitive because a lot of times you're flying and they have meal service, especially if you're going somewhere really far away. So for me, I was traveling from New York to Beijing, China, and that's a 13-hour flight. So of course they're gonna have in-flight meal service. But I know that A, those meals are usually very processed, B, they are really high in sodium, so they end up dehydrating your body even more, and C, they're just not that healthy. You're not getting a lot of vegetables many times, so I like to actually bring my own meal if I'm going somewhere far away. So what does that look like? A lot of times you might think that you can't get through security with food, but at least in the United States, you totally can. So for me, that either means I pick up a salad, like on my flight for this time, I'm picking up a sweet green salad. I'm gonna bring that through and I'm gonna have it for dinner. But if you don't have access to a salad place like I do here in New York, you can also make your own meals at home. I think it's just important to make sure you have a balanced meal. So if I was to build my own meal, the perfect meal for a flight is something like a Buddha bowl. So you have a complex carb, you have some whole grains, you have some sort of plant-based protein, you have some sort of leafy greens, and you also have some sort of vegetable. If you're interested in learning how to make a Buddha bowl, I actually shared one last week, so I will link that video in the description box below that you can check out. But that's a great option that helps you stay away from the food that they're serving on the airplane and helps you make sure that you're really nourishing your body with the best foods possible. And trust me, you might seem weird to your fellow passengers, but I promise you will feel so much better than if you ate one of the meals that they serve on the plane. And last but not least, my fifth tip is to take a natural sleep aid if you need to. So for me, I was taking an overnight flight and I wanted to have a little bit of help sleeping. And a lot of times people will take something like Xanax or some sort of sleeping pill that really like knocks you out. I am not a fan of that type of medicine. If you have to take it, by all means, but I like to choose something that is a little bit more natural. So for me, my favorite thing to bring with me is something called melatonin. It is in the vitamin section of most healthy food stores, and it basically just helps you fall asleep. It's relaxing and it's totally natural. I don't take it all the time, but it's a great option for when you're on the plane because when you wake up, you don't feel drowsy like you do from some of those other meds that you might take. So if you need help sleeping, it's really important that you get your sleep if you can. I definitely recommend that you take some melatonin with you, and also if you can, take an eye mask. Blocking the light from around you, it really helps you fall asleep, and of course you can't see anything, so when you open your eyes it's totally dark and you don't really know where you are, so it's a great option. I recommend that you don't turn to things like Xanax or cold and flu medicine or something like Benadryl or even alcohol. I suggest that you take something natural like melatonin because it really helps and it won't make you feel groggy in the morning when you land. So that pretty much does it for my healthy travel tips. I will go through them one more time for you. So number 1 is to stay hydrated. Number 2 is to have healthy snacks on hand. Number 3 is to get your greens in. Number 4 is to pack your own meal. And number 5 is to use a natural sleep remedy. So I hope you guys found that helpful. I will be a little bit off the grid as I'm on my trip. So if you want to follow along, I will be sharing stuff on Snapchat and Instagram. On Snapchat, I am alyssarimmer. On Instagram, I'm simply quinoa. I also have a personal Instagram that you can follow, which is just alyssarimmer. And I actually will be filming 2 videos while I'm there. The first, I'm going to be doing a what I eat in a day while I'm traveling to Thailand. So I'll include the meals that I'm having while I'm at the airport and while I am in flight so that you can get a real sense of what that looks like. And I will also be sharing another what I eat in a day of a typical day in Thailand. So I'm going to a place that specializes in vegan cooking, so I'm really excited to share about what that experience is like and show you all of the delicious vegan Thai food that I'm eating. So make sure to follow along. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions, comments, pop them in the comment box below. And other than that, I will be back next week with another recipe video. I will be a little bit off the grid, but I will talk to you guys very soon. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye!